So the test gameplay footage of Pokemon Legends Z-A is finally here, and honestly, it tells us a lot. More about how the game is actually going to play, and I want to dive into some of the theories that I previously made about the game, and just go over everything that we learned from this demo. All this gameplay footage is provided by Austin John. Please go ahead and give him a shout out if you already haven't, but pretty sure if you're looking at these videos, you probably already know about Austin John. So without further ado, let's jump into the video. So one of the first things that I noticed was that the abilities are for sure gone. So there was no levitate, no buffs of any type, no intimidate, big fat. We didn't get to see any of that. And this really changes the strategy as well as the meta, because you can't really rely on, the defensive strategy or the safety nets that come from those abilities. So it's like they really want to lock in and double down on the whole live battle system and try to take as much of the, the thinking aspect of it, the minor thinking that goes along with the abilities out of the equation, to just focus on that real time, split second thinking. Dodging is now more important than ever. The attack cooldowns are now more important than ever. Knowing when to use your moves, knowing when your opponent's using your moves, it's definitely going to be something pretty cool to see now that that's like a more simplified yet ambitious, I guess I would say, type of battle system that we're going for. And it is confirmed that Mega Evolution Stones will be acquired basically the same way that we used to get them in Scarlet and Violet. So instead of just you getting just a Mega Stone from every battle, you're more likely to get Mega Stone shards just from exploring the city or doing some of the side quests or main quests, battling rogue, smaller, more weaker rogue Pokemon, and then you'll have the chance to get the actual Mega Stones from certain rogue Pokemon, or certain battle events. So that's something that I think is pretty cool and makes it to where, certain Pokemon in the game, you will almost have a guarantee of getting that Mega Stone and everything, but then there are chances that, some of the more rare Pokemon that you want, you're actually going to have to go fishing, for lack of a better term, for those a little bit more. So definitely going to be something cool to see how, teams are shaped for the online battles, which is coming back. That's going to be a whole different video where you make sure you're subscribed and locked in for that. But that's going to make, the team comps, I feel like it's definitely going to help diversify the teams, help you build the teams in ways that you want to see in the late game, and not only the late game, but like I said, in those multiplayer battles where no two Pokemon teams may necessarily be the same. Something cool that I noticed too was looking at the map. There are multiple Pokemon centers scattered throughout the whole city versus, the old style of there's like one Pokemon center and one Pokemart per city, and now they're separated into like the districts, and that gives us more of that survival game feel. You get into a battle or you're in a battle zone here and your Pokemon are, pretty weak, you're low on the potions, boom, you got the Pokemon Center. That's in, it looks like there aren't any Pokemarts, so the Pokemon Center looks like it's going to have the Pokemart within it as well too. And even like the little designs that I saw from some of the pictures or the screenshots of the Pokemon Centers, I love that they all look like actual shops, or actual like building places and not just the same static, hopefully, but this is definitely a brand new Pokemon Center design from any of the other games that we got to witness. And even the alleys and, the streets that's on the map, it looks like highly detailed. It looks like there's so many different places that we can go in the game, so many different little areas that may house like different mega shards, maybe rare TMs and everything of that nature. And it makes me, honestly, looking at the map, it makes me want to explore all of those different alleys and cities. It doesn't feel like everything is so spaced out like on the Paldea map or, the Kalos map or any of those. Everything is just in a city, so that it kind of makes my brain think about filling out every single part of this city. It makes it feel like it's definitely an easier task and a more manageable task. So I definitely can't wait to see what's going to actually go on within these streets. I know it seems like a lot of the events and everything were tied to side quests, as well as they're going to be obviously the main quest that we're going to be doing, but it's cool to see that throughout the city there's going to be NPCs that's going to need your help, and there's going to be obviously Emma who needs your help, and just that makes all of these streets feel like they're going to be just more alive throughout the game. And hopefully that means that with all of these streets and all of the NPCs and the hardware, hopefully there's just so many different quests and side missions that we can do to where we're not going to restart the game and be like, oh, we got to do this quest. We got to go get socks for this guy. Again, we got to go find the same person's Pokemon, exact same Pokemon again. So hopefully there's like a lot of replayability when it comes to that alone, as well as them giving us things like live events throughout the Pokemon Z-A run. So that is definitely something that I want to be on the lookout for as well too. If they do that on top of, you know, how they used to give us different terrestrial Pokemon raids and everything here and there throughout the Pokemon Scarlet run, I feel like that should be something like a special mission or quest that we can do here and there that'll allow us to get like a rare, you know, Mega Stone or something like that. Or maybe there's just a certain Mega Pokemon that's going to be on the map for a certain amount of time. It's that now after seeing this, it's like so many other things that I can think it can really happen with this game now. And a lot of the other little theories that I had, some of them were debunked. Majority of them are actually legit. You can take a look at all those videos in the past and see, you know, how much we've been doing when it comes to trying to break down what we know about the game and what we're trying to figure out before the game comes out. And last but not least, one of the things I noticed was confusion is definitely going to be something to watch out for. I don't know if it's going to last multiple turns or it's going to just proc once you have that status debuff throughout the course of the status debuff. But that thing does not allow you to move, and that is terrifying to not only not be able to attack or defend, but to, oh my goodness. So that is definitely one that I was not expecting to be as prominent, I guess. And honestly, I wondered how that was going to work. I thought it was going to either switch up the buttons for the moves or something like that, something like quirky like that, but I did not expect it to prevent you from attacking and moving, period. So that is something that I do want to as well take a look at, and hopefully we get to see some more footage on that later on. So tell me what you guys noticed, or if there was anything you learned from the trailer, not the trailer, the gameplay footage that was recently released, and let me know down in the comments which status effect do you think is going to be the worst to deal with during ZA. And other than that, man, this is your boy All Hail Rico. I'm out.